It is your boy T with another movie review, and today we are reviewing 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, the follow-up to last year's 28 Years Later, the movie with the best trailer in years to which the movie simply couldn't live up to. I for one enjoyed that movie for what feels like all the opposite reasons everyone else did. It had so many characters and tone changes, especially that wacky and zany ending, with Jack O'Connell showing up with his jumpsuit wearing group of Teletubby Power Rangers looking guys called the Jimmies. This picks up almost immediately after the events where Spike, our reluctant main protagonist, who was rescued from that zombie horde by the Jimmies, now has to live and survive with his deranged cultish group of sadists. And I hope the sadists out there don't take offense to that comparison, because this group takes it up to a whole other level of brutality throughout this film. The movie isn't just Spike's story, we also dive deeper into Dr. Ian's story. And Dr. Ian, who is brilliantly played by Ralph Fiennes, takes more of a center stage in this movie as he continues to try to find the humanity in the world, not just with the rage-filled monsters inhabiting the island, but the human survivors as well. One of my biggest gripe with 28 Years Later was that Dr. Ian chose not to kill the Alpha when he had a chance. He would merely sedate him and then escape. And this movie truly explored his reasons for that choice, leading to some truly engrossing, if not the most endearing scenes of this film. Another gripe I had with the original 28 Years Later was its jump cuts to the old footage that really went nowhere, and the multitude of stories happening all at the same time with no true overall focus to me, just things happening to people in the movie. This film was much tighter, and it was directed by Nia DaCosta, which for sure leads me into the highlights. Because if it's one thing I can say about this movie is that it is shot gorgeously and it is brilliantly directed with a clear focus on telling this particular story. She's a master of her craft when it comes to filling the screen with absolutely incredible imagery, filling spaces of silence with excellent storytelling through just the visuals, and she left nothing to the imagination because this movie was gory to the point of uncomfortability. There was no stone unturned, and we got to see all of the rotten flesh and spines being ripped out of people's bodies. Another highlight of the film was once again Jack O'Connell crafting another sinister, epic villain that we'll be talking about 28 years later. Here he plays Jimmy, the enigmatic cult leader of the Jimmies, a bunch of young adults who all have grown up in the worst environment possible for a kid to grow up in. And they worship Jimmy, who in turn worships old Nick, who he thinks is his dad.
Are you old Nick?
Old Nick? You mean Satan?
Yes.
This character is sadistic and nihilistic, and he almost felt like one of the rage monsters in his tactics. Yet he had one thing they didn't. He had his wits. He owned every scene he was in, and Alfie Williams' Spike took a backseat to him and all of his Jimmies in the movie, similar to the beginning of the last film. Spike almost seemed like an afterthought throughout the entire movie, which was really disappointing to me. That disappointment really leads me to my lowlights of the film, which is Spike's backseat to Dr. Ian and Lord Sir Jimmy. This movie felt much like a side quest in a video game. Yes, there was tension, there was a story, but it felt like the middle of a sandwich and there was very thinly sliced meat. And speaking of meat, hey yo, if you hated seeing zombie dicks in 28 Years Later, they doubled down on the dick screen time in this film. They even showed Dr. Ian's temple and why. I have my theories, but I'll keep it to myself. So much of this movie was visuals and imagery and prolonged scenes that to me felt like added to secondary characters that seemed to be setting up the third film. Like in the first movie, there were characters that showed up and seemed like they would have an interesting story and add to the film just to disappear and never be seen again, making me wonder why they were there in the first place. Midway throughout this film, it felt more like the middle episodes of a limited series instead of a coherent movie. So this begs the question, who is this movie for? This movie is definitely for anyone who enjoyed the 28 series. If you enjoyed the last movie 28 years later, you will most definitely enjoy this deeper dive into a world and characters of that movie. If you enjoy gore, this one is definitely for you. Nia DaCosta doesn't shy away from the uncomfortability of gore and torture. She makes you sit in it to either you look away or join in the enjoyment of the mutilation. Overall, this movie took a turn that I simply didn't click with. It wasn't a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. This new trilogy is trying new things and telling its own unique story, which I truly admire. One of the reasons I liked 28 Years Later as much as I did was the very touching, heartfelt, and human story with Spike and his mother. Those scenes truly stuck with me. This movie went the other direction of humanity, rooted in sheer evil with the Jimmies. And I truly am looking forward to the next movie because this movie ends with a truly, and I mean truly epic and satisfying cliffhanger that will get explored in the next film, hopefully which comes out next year or the year after that, and we don't have to wait 28 years later to get the third movie. But what did you think of 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple? Did you love it? Did you loathe it? Did you enjoy the gratuitous amounts of male genitalia throughout the movie? Is Nia DaCosta the most underrated director in Hollywood right now? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you like this content, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the Have You Seen That With T YouTube channel. And don't forget to hit that bell notification to see whenever I drop new movie reviews and videos. Until next time, keep going to the cinemas and enjoying movies.